Vina Bharath. Welcome once again to Fulfilling the Promise as we continue to take you on a journey along the path of delivery, as we highlight the achievements of government in the 2 years of its existence since May 24th, 2010. In tonight's program, the opening of the Legal Aid Office, the Youth Volunteerism Program and the upgrading of the postal services. But first, improving the quality of life in crime-prone areas, making life important, as government continues to deliver on fulfilling the promise.
The formal launch of the MLI Making Life Important initiative of the Ministry of National Security. It's a model for the sustainable community development and crime prevention. The program offers hope for the future. The strategic goal of this program is to improve the quality of life in crime-prone communities. The Ministry of National Security expects this will enhance the availability and delivery of social services while increasing and improving the quality and the quantity of police-community interaction. The end result will be safe, healthy and productive communities.
A very pleasant morning to all. I'm indeed pleased and honored to be here with you this morning to launch this new initiative. The new MLI initiative is a concrete step and an enormous stride forward in our efforts at creating crime-free, forward-thinking, and sustainable communities across Trinidad and Tobago. It is aptly described as a model for sustainable development and crime prevention, an eclectic concept that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. When we speak of development, we are not only talking about infrastructural works in communities. We also mean true and real development, that is, the development of the human being. In other words, we seek to give our communities and the people who live in them the ability to reach their full potential for success and thus contribute positively to Trinidad and Tobago as a whole.
The MLI program, an effort to provide safe, productive and healthy communities, which brings us to the National Mentorship Program, a focus on the many crises that our young people face.
Very pleased to reveal to you the National Mentorship Program's logo.
The National Mentorship Program is seeking to pair children and young adults with positive role models so that they can grow to become productive members of society. It doesn't matter if you're a primary school student in need of homework help or a young adult dealing with the world of work and social skills. Everyone needs a helping hand sometimes. The National Mentorship Program encourages participants to step up, reach out, take on. It's a bit different from other Big Brother Big Sister type programs that currently exist, as a number of other ministries are pitching in to help groom the thinkers of tomorrow. It's a collaborative effort among the ministries of National Security, Education, Sport and Youth Affairs, and Science, Technology and Tertiary Education.
The National Mentorship Program is designed to help youths between the ages of 9 to 25 years who may be at risk, need some additional support, and the program is designed to help them, to get that support for them.
The initiative has been carefully thought out. Mentors go through a rigorous selection process, after which they are trained in life skills such as social and interpersonal communication, trauma and conflict resolution. These skills are essential for dealing with situations like peer pressure, social conflicts, ethical and moral issues, and divorce or separation within the family. The program focuses on many of the crises that young people face, which just may not be noticed or properly addressed by parents or guardians. The obvious question here is, how are these young people selected to be part of this program?
Mentees are chosen from principals might identify, teachers might identify, we have community activists might identify, guidance officers in schools would identify persons who need that additional support system. Persons who may tend to or have some potential of getting themselves involved in delinquent behaviors and so.
It means that this program is open to children and young adults from all walks of life to help them evolve into responsible citizens with positive attitudes. Each one-on-one match is based on the interests of both the mentor and the mentee in order to help nurture a healthy relationship. The formal launch of the program got the endorsement of former U.S. Secretary of State, retired General Colin Powell. General Powell and Mrs. Powell are leaders of America's Promise Alliance, a cross-sector partnership of more than 400 organizations which engage in advocacy to improve the lives of young people.
I was deeply impressed by the quality of the work that you have done to pull this interagency group together and by the dedication you and the members of your team have shown to make sure that this actually works.
Youth volunteerism in any society can make a huge difference. This from Minister of Gender, Youth and Child Development, Senator Verna St. Rose Graves, who is speaking at the launch of the National Youth Volunteerism Program. Minister St. Rose Graves is calling on all citizens to help others and make a difference in their communities.
Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, in his message for the International Volunteer Day last year, stated, "We must tap every person's potential to help others. Everyone can make a difference. Volunteerism matters." The Ministry of Gender, Youth and Child Development has identified this program of youth volunteerism as a key strategy for supporting the realization of Pillar 1, people-centered development. We need everyone and all can contribute, and Pillar 6 of the government's stated mandate, good governance, people participation.
The Gender, Youth and Child Development Minister reveals that this country is blessed with rich volunteerism. She adds that this is a great approach in promoting participation by young persons. According to the minister, young persons should have a part to play in the decision-making process in society, and youth volunteerism creates that avenue.
The government has recognized that youth is an important partner in the implementation of social development programs. Youth matters, and they matter in everything, everywhere, every time, and all the time. The Commonwealth Secretariat, in their Plan of Action for Youth Empowerment, has identified volunteerism as a key strategy to promote the participation of young people in decision-making. Our ministry has recognized the need to harness our people's tradition of volunteerism by institutionalizing this value. Yes, and we do have a rich tradition of volunteerism. We helped each other to build our homes. We helped to develop our communities. There was so much that we have done. If we look at our children's homes, we have had people do yeoman service in terms of looking after our children. We have a rich history of volunteerism, and sometimes we forget that.
The National Commission for SelfHelp is continuing to play an integral role in impacting communities throughout the country. This from Community Development Minister Nizam Bakhsh, who is speaking at the commissioning of the Kora Activity Center. Minister Bakhsh says Kora residents will now be given an opportunity to better their livelihoods if they take advantage of the new facility.
This center can and will serve as a catalyst to achieving all the other concerns that were expressed during the visit 6 months ago, and as stated by your MP, Winston Dukaran. It will serve as a venue to mobilize efforts for the ecotourism and heritage village, so residents of Kora Valley will be able to earn an income from this area. It will be a place for youth to meet and realize their full potential. It will be a place where the Kora Valley Village Council and the Women's Empowerment Group will hold their monthly meetings. And of course, the Ministry of Community Development will provide you with some community education programs.
The minister is commending the National Self-Help Commission for its delivery to communities throughout the country. He says the state agency has served for numerous years in poverty eradication ventures and other effective initiatives throughout its existence. He is also announcing that the Commission is celebrating 25 years as a state agency.
I must admit that they have exceeded my expectation. They have reached to the point where same-day relief is offered, especially in emergency cases. I extend full compliments and congratulations to them. The future of this activity center has been made possible by the National Commission for SelfHelp Limited. This state enterprise, under the purview of the Ministry of Community Development, has been delivering solutions to communities like Cora for the past 25 years. Since 1987, SelfHelp has built roads, bridges, and places of worship through collaborating with communities in Trinidad and Tobago. Their work has helped to lift entire communities out of poverty through the provision of material and technical expertise.
Minister Bakch says the National Self-Help Commission continues to evolve to meet changing times. He adds that the Commission has been in collaboration with other ministries working towards improving the quality of life of citizens. This is Fulfilling the Promise, Change in Action. The initiatives and actions of government in office from one ministry to another.
This project was started in the Castlefield area as a pilot for the URP program, not before it became URP Social. We were partnering as the People's Unit with the URP program, and we were able to cultivate 2 5-acre plots of land. And we were able to provide enough vegetables for all the senior citizens' homes in Carney Central and all the children's homes. Certainly, the vegetables will go a long way to providing good nutrients for senior citizens. As you know, the first act of this government, the first piece of legislation to lay in the Parliament, was to increase the senior citizens' pension to $3,000 for all persons over the age of 65. And therefore, we have consistently been treated with the needs of the elderly, and we welcome the opportunity to be here. And we look forward. Minister Stacey Rupnarine has already identified a 2-acre plot. Minister Warner will soon give us a 2-acre plot, where the URP Social will put 2 teams in there to keep cultivating, so each constituency will have its own sustainable social agricultural project. This is part of social action in the URP Social now, that is part of our ministry, and it will be devolved throughout the country.
Today is I'm speechless. I'm very speechless, and it's overwhelming, and I must thank all the ministers that are a part of this.
I've asked the minister whether this can be done on a regular basis, and he advised me it shall be done on a weekly basis. It means, therefore, that overnight the matron doesn't have to go to her wit's end to find money for foodstuffs that we can provide for her. So again, Ms. Henderson, thank you very much. This is the kind of gesture, I say again, when 2 ministries collaborate. Out of this, you're bound to get good, and the biggest beneficiaries today are the people of this home.
Let me therefore begin by thanking my cabinet colleague, the Honorable Minister of Justice, for his continued work to ensure that justice will indeed become more accessible to citizens here in our Southland. As some of you may recall, Pillar number 3 of the People's Partnership Manifesto assured citizens of Trinidad and Tobago national and personal security, human security for peace and prosperity. In making this commitment, we assure that we will seek to transform the society to create a just and fair environment and reorganize the justice system and make interventions of a proactive and preventative nature. My friends, today, we once again deliver on the commitments we made to you in bringing access to justice closer to you, the citizens. A moment ago, I referred to this occasion as being hosted with a sense of achievement. Why this sense of achievement? Many of you may recall that this very issue was raised when the Legal Aid Authority, the Legal Aid and Authority Division was brought before the Joint Select Committee of Parliament in March of last year in 2011. I see the Permanent Secretary shaking her head. Two very important issues were raised at that hearing. Firstly, access to legal aid. I expressed the view at that hearing of the Joint Select Committee that there was an urgent need to improve access and quality of legal aid in the Southland. That we are standing here today and opening this new office, not only a new office, but as we heard from the chairman this morning, but an office capable of offering services on par with the Port of Spain office, a mere 9 months later, means that you listened, this government listened, and responded to the plight of the citizens of the Southland. And for that, I think the Ministry of Justice deserves a round of applause.
It's more than a concept. TT Bizlink has been officially launched, and it's time for the country's business community to get connected.
All applications for TT Bizlink or subscribers need to go online at the official government portal at www.ttconnect.gov.tt and access or sign up for what is called a TT Connect ID. And a TT Connect ID is your single unique electronic identifier. It's an online application process. It's very simple. It should take no more than 2 to 3 minutes to complete.
On receiving your TT Connect ID, you will be required to fill in an online TT Bizlink registration form.
And bring both, bring the registration form with 2 forms of ID to one of TT Connect service centers out throughout the country. Because by law, you need to be verified.
TT Bizlink offers 8 core services, which will be made available to the public on a phased basis. It's an initiative the business community has been awaiting for some time.
They have been working very closely with us, and given the importance of what this platform will do for their businesses and their operation.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry is inviting prospective subscribers to get familiar with its portal at www.ttbizlink.gov.tt.
Welcome back to Fulfilling the Promise. In this segment, the Direct Impact Program and the National Self-Help Commission, under the umbrella of the Ministry of Community Development, reaches out to the less fortunate in society.
There is growing need to improve the postal networking system within the region to satisfy customers. And the government, through the Ministry of Public Utilities, has begun discussions aimed at finding ways to improve the quality of service offered.
TT Post is currently working on the implementation of a postcode addressing system. To date, approximately 60% of this postcode project has been completed. Additionally, I have been informed that the expected time frame for implementation of this postcode system in Trinidad and Tobago is the first quarter of 2012. It goes without saying that once implemented, this postal code and the improved addressing it promotes will benefit TT Post and the public of Trinidad and Tobago.
The 4th Quality of Service Improvement Workshop includes 9 other countries: Barbados, Belize, Cayman Island, Grenada, Guyana, St. Lucia, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Suriname. Chairman of TT Post, Anthony Moore, says this meeting is critical given what's happening in the global community.
The Universal Postal Union has conceded that a strong regional approach was necessary to take postal development within the Caribbean region to the next level and sought to implement the regional development plan, which we are all part of.
Minister George says the sharing of the information between countries will help the region's postal system.
The UPU must therefore be commended, as this quality of service improvement workshop offers the opportunity for such knowledge sharing to be deepened. The Government of Trinidad and Tobago, and in particular the Ministry of Public Utilities, views the topics that this workshop intends to address with keen interest. This is due to the fact that inter alia workshop topics such as postcode and addressing, process mapping and development of policies, system implementation, and end-to-end mail measurements will all undoubtedly prove useful.
It's the 4th Quality of Service Improvement Workshop.
Even though the nature of the Direct Impact Program under the Ministry of the People and Social Development is not exactly long-term, Chaguanas East MP Stephen Cadiz says the program will be quite effective in addressing the needs of many persons. He was speaking at the Direct Impact Program launch in Chaguanas.
Direct Impact Program is to bring some measure of relief, and obviously Dr. Ramadas Singh is going to expound on that. But it is to bring some form of relief. It is not permanent, because the permanent relief is a much longer or more of a medium-term plan. So we welcome the Direct Impact Program here in Chaguanas.
The Chaguanas East MP adds that there are several grants available to persons who may qualify. He is advising that those seeking assistance should visit the various offices where they will be able to access more information on the available grants from the Ministry of the People and Social Development.
The social welfare grants that I have here on this pamphlet, it is amazing what is available. The office in Chaguanas East on Chrissy Trace is there. We open from Monday right down to Saturday afternoon. And all of these, for those of you who, for whatever reason, have not been in a position to be satisfied today, you can come to the office during regular office hours. You can also come during the week and have the office officials attend to you.
Minister Cadiz is also openly pledging his commitment to working with persons in need of assistance.
We were overwhelmed with the response for the Direct Impact Program, and whatever we can do as a Member of Parliament, the Office of the Member of Parliament, whatever we can do to assist and to help, not only to today, but any other day that you feel that you can no longer, you can't take it anymore, whatever it is, just please find me and we will attend to it.
The National Commission for SelfHelp has a mandate to assist communities and individuals outside there. Right? One of the popular grants in that is the minor repairs and reconstruction grant, that we assist those with low income, ceiling and so to repair their homes, right? And this has been a wonderful program so far that I've seen. For this year, we have delivered over 1,300. 2010, we delivered about 900, and I hope that in 2012, I'm setting myself a target of over 2,000 for the year.
The National Commission for Self-Help Limited, one of the ministry's agencies, is working hard with and within the communities to implement infrastructure projects. The chairman of the National Commission for Self-Help Limited, Suraj Deo Mangaru, explains a bit more.
Our mission is to reach out to the destitute and the poor in society. And we set about doing that when we assumed office some time ago, almost a year ago. And we have achieved that quite a lot. And I suppose the setting up of this commission, really, the National Commission for Self-Help, is reaching out to the poor in society. And mind you, there are lots of poor people in this country. And as I traverse this land, I'm really seeing what you call abject poverty. And it bleeds my heart sometimes to see the conditions in which people still live in today's world. But we do offer that compassion and that comfort to the people which we visit.
Let's talk about grants offered by the Ministry of Community Development under the National Commission for Self-Help Limited, providing the basic needs for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We were able to chat with a young man by the name of Aaron who suffers from cerebral palsy. We also had an opportunity to chat with his grandmother as well. They benefited from one of these grants.
Well, I was benefited first by the staircase, the rail, and also some materials to do plastering the whole house inside and finish putting in odds and end blocks. And they completed the staircase by bringing the material, bringing men to work, and this is the state that it's in right now.
I met Aaron about 10 years ago and he used to go to Tranquility.
and I used to drop him to school every morning. And I knew of the precarious place where he lived, and 10 years ago, I had promised that I would endeavor to make sure that he has proper steps. But if there's one person I'd like to mention here is Mr. Reynold Baldev Singh. He was the key person, and he's the key person in the construction of the Stairway to Heaven. There was a story with Aaron and I in the newspapers, and he saw it, where we were raising funds to build this Stairway to Heaven. And he saw it, and he called me in, and I went and I see him, and he said, you know what? He's going to build the Stairway to Heaven. So Mr. Reynold Baldev Singh, from the National Self-Help Commission. I think he's the CEO. He must get credit for this.
I will say thank you for my bottom of my heart, because before it was difficult for me to move about, and there's a God sent.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because before I could not move around, and there is a God. The words of Aaron, who is quite happy because of his stairway to heaven. What a beautiful smile.
Thank you for joining us. This has been Fulfilling the Promise, Change in Action, the achievements and actions of government in office from one ministry to another.